Hey guys, actually, this is before the real video is starting up, so this is kind of a quick little featurette I want to do because in my real game recap, I forgot to talk about this in the game recap, and that was another thing that I liked from the Clippers game, which you guys will see when I talk about some things later on. Is the fact that I really like the ball movement the Clippers were given or were doing last night because the ball was definitely moving a lot more than obviously it was last season. Because we know last season it was more ISO dominated points and times, even though there was slight ball movement, but still, regardless, there was a lot of ball movement throughout the game and stuff like that. And yeah, that's kind of the one thing I wanted to talk about here in this quick little short thing before I get to the main video. The ball movement's good. Obviously, the ball movement's going to be key for this team going forward as the games progress. And I just liked it. Again, what I saw, last night, because I'm actually making this the day after the game. This is going up the day after the game as well, but still, these are my internal thoughts. Again, I liked what I saw. There's nothing else to play. Again, can I just say, Ty Lue, he's definitely a huge change because you can see it in some of the things he did, some of the rotations he had. Like, again, I mega mentioned in this video, in the game recap you're about to see, saying that when Reggie Jackson started screwing up, what happened? Ty Lue literally pulled him off the bench and sat him down and didn't play him the rest of the game. Doc Rivers, listen, he would have played him. Another thing, Zubac, I forgot to also mention that Zubac's played really well, and he played some pretty late fourth quarter minutes, and it was good to see Zubac actually getting fourth quarter minutes. Like, my goodness, fourth quarter minutes was something Clipper fans, time and time again from last year, was asking Doc to give Zubac, and you would have reporters ask, Doc, why are you not playing Zubac more in the fourth? They just repeatedly asked him again and again and again. And listen, it's already a known fact. It's already a done deal that we all know as Clipper fans. Doc Rivers, when you give him a pretty solid veteran team, he does not like to play young, players because he thinks they're not going to work out for them instead of them developing and stuff like that. And it was just a blessing to see Zubac get some good fourth quarter minutes, even late in that game in key stretch moments of that game, because that's only going to prepare him to get better when, he eventually will have that starting spark given back to him because he's earned it and stuff like that. And yeah, listen, that's all I got to say. Again, I make a mention about it time and time again. One, I make a mention about the Inside the NBA guys and just their blasphemous comments they said all last night about the Clippers. I still am kind of ticked off because the way they talk like they don't respect the dudes no more. Again, fine. It's the Clippers versus everyone else in the NBA. Personally, I'll take my chances with that because if we're going to be the team that's going to be hated on, fine by me. Apparently, with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, that the Clippers don't, I guess demand respect as much as any other of the quality teams in the NBA. But okay, it's fine with me. I'm just saying to the Inside the NBA guys, personally, I think they're all biased and they're all biased takes. But I talk about that. And I guess the last thing, again, I make a mention a lot in the video is, listen, Clipper fans, it's only one game. Yeah, we beat the Lakers. Let's enjoy that win we had last night, but obviously today, let's not over celebrate. Let's focus on trying to come up with things to beat the Nuggets because that's the next opponent, and then we can, I guess have fun after that game too and enjoy a hopeful W on Christmas night and go to sleep on Christmas, obviously in peace with our Clippers winning. So obviously that's gonna be something, and yeah, that I make a mention time and time again. So that's kind of to the. I guess it's also to the Laker fans that are checking out my video here of saying, "Oh man, you guys are opening day champions." It doesn't matter. Regardless what happened with the outcome of last night's game, it was a lose-lose situation. If the Clippers were to win, one, they would not get, or they would not be demanded the respect, or at least get some respect like they deserve from not only the national media as well as other, I guess you can say, Laker fans, in terms of saying, it's a good quality win for the Clippers, but it's still one win. And that's what a Laker fan should say. Okay, move on. It's a lose-lose situation because guess what? You win, guess what? You still get ripped on. Especially by saying, oh, we're opening day champions again. Yada, yada, yada. Where have I heard that before? Okay, move on. And then, but if we had lost, guess what? Those same people, which are most of the Laker fans, would have been saying, oh, yada, 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 guess what? You guys suck. So it was a lose-lose situation. Either or. I'm up for this redemption-like season for this team to go out there and prove these people in the national media and even in, the NBA, world wrong. And that's the challenge this team's got to take. And I know they have what it takes. Again, they come out and play like what they did yesterday, throughout the entire season. Like, we all know they're not going to play like that every freaking game. There's going to be times where they stress us out of our minds. But if they can play on a consistent basis where they're having the things that play well into their hands do good for them, they'll end up winning more games than losing them. And especially in those playoff series, that will definitely be key. Anyways, I wanted to make this quick little short monologue video before the main video kicks off. And yeah, those just kind of my extra thoughts after getting, I guess, a good night's sleep over it. And it was something that, I totally forgot to mention in this video about the ball movement being really effective and really good, and how much better ball movement it was than the Doc Rivers offensive system, which was purely based off talent and just ISO ball stuff. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. So anyways, you guys will be checking my whole game recap thoughts in the next few seconds. So till then, guys, I'll see you guys. I'll say it later in the video, but I'll see you guys for the next game recap, which is Christmas night. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Till then, peace. Hey guys, this is Gamery15, and I'm back at it with another video for you guys, and this is another Clippers recap or game recap video for you guys, and for you Clipper fans or for you NBA fans who want to check out my Clippers content. Obviously, happy return to the NBA day. I don't know what you call it, happy NBA tip-off. You had, I guess, well, at least somewhat the Lakers-Clippers game was competitive until really the end. But yeah, the Golden State-Brooklyn game wasn't really competitive, and it seems like Golden State might not be good again. Sure, they might just be a decent team fighting for potentially an 8th seed, but regardless, your Clippers get another win today. Their first win of the 2020-2021 NBA season. And they beat the NBA defending champions, the Los Angeles Lakers. We're going to get into tonight's game, talk about some things I like, some things I didn't like, some things I guess the Clippers can improve on going forward, as well as reminding not only the Clipper fans as well as other NBA fans, listen, there's only one game, and this is kind of my opening monologue. Listen, guys, okay, we beat the Lakers. All right, big deal. Move on. Let's get past this win. We can celebrate this win however we want to celebrate it, but move on. It's only one game of a 72-game season. Regardless how you feel about the win and stuff like that, just move on. It's one game at a time. That's what I've taken as approach. This is how this team needs to take an approach, is one game at a time. Okay, you beat the Lakers. Now you want to know. All right. Now, game plan, get prepared on Christmas Day or Christmas night, really, against Denver and try to get a W against those guys. But again, it's just one game out of 72 games. Just remember that. So don't get too overhyped about this W. Time to move on to the next person. Okay, Lakers done now. All right, let's start game planning and let's start getting ready up for Denver now. That's what this team needs to do. And then, I liked what I saw from this team. I liked a lot from what I saw this team more than I didn't like. There was just some things, yes, this team can clean up and stuff like that, and some things that are definitely an irritant. Reggie Jackson. But yeah, there was some things I like. Let me actually just go on a little bit off of an off tangent. I'm just gonna go off right now. Listen, I might not watch Inside the NBA anymore when it comes to them broadcasting Clipper games on NBA on TNT, because if you weren't checking it out, I don't know if it's just me, but I think Shaq Kenny and Charles Barkley are very anti-biased with not liking the Clippers anymore, or not at least having some respect. The way they talk about the Clippers, specifically Shaq and Kenny, they talk like they don't have no respect for the Clippers no more, and they act the way they lost is, listen, like I said, the way they lost was bad, but to the flat out lose full out respect for them, listen, personally, as a Clippers fan, do I hate watching it? Do I hate these people definitely just taking their daily shots at the Clippers and saying we got no respect? Yeah, but at the same time, keep motivating us to be better. Because again, that's another thing the Clippers can put on their wall and see that, oh, so now they're talking shit about us. Okay, fine. I guess that's something we can put on our walls into our potential redemption season and stuff like that. I just want to get that off my chest because I'm sorry. When you have Shaq and Kenny actively saying that they'd rather take Portland or Denver as the second and third best teams in the Western Conference, really goes to show how much they frickin' do not respect the Clippers anymore because of the way they went out. Now, again, I'm just going to say the same thing. Why am I not seeing the same slander going for the Milwaukee Bucks with how they lost to the Miami Heat in the playoffs? We're the same thing with the Utah Jazz. They lost in the same fashion as the Clippers. They were up 3-1, and they choked that series away. Oh, but no, hate the Clippers. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'll take it upon myself to say, fine, keep the Clippers slander going. That's why I hope this team wins a championship this year so they can shut people up. So they can shut these guys that have no respect and are just hating just to hate on us, to shut these guys up and be like, okay, at least we can respect you guys now. But like I said, this is redemption season. Anyways, this is game one into redemption season. Don't take this. This is just one game. One game. I got my issues with the national media off. I hate the fact that the national media just slams the Clippers for no apparent reason, even though there's factual evidence to prove how the Clippers lost. Again, I'll say, if you're calling the Clippers soft and you're calling a team that has a fragile mindset, then clearly they did not watch the team and they did not watch the Clippers all year long. Because they knew Doc Rivers, especially in that playoff series, was leading the helm in terms of doing nothing and helping his team. Listen, I know players got to step up and do their jobs. That's what they get paid for. But at the same time, you got to look at this team. And like I said, sometimes national media, the way they talk they haven't seen every Clippers broadcast. Trust me, watch every Clippers broadcast from last year. You can see the issues leading up to that playoff series. Anyways, I'm not going to dwell on the national media ripping on the Clippers. I can make a whole video ripping the media and say how they're undervaluing the Clippers and stuff like that. But what can I say, Shock? Kenny Smith did say that he chooses Golden State to win the NBA Finals this year, and they just got destroyed by Brooklyn. So guess what? I shouldn't be shocked. Maybe I should start watching Inside the NBA because those guys actually don't give no takes. They're just like every other national media outlet. They just give their biased take, their biased opinions. Anyways, the Clippers win tonight, 116-109. Can I say, Jesus, the way the Clippers started off was really freaking phenomenal. They played like a team that was mad. A team that I expected to see, a team that most Clipper fans expected to see, a team that should go out there and actually assert their dominance and say, okay, yeah, we lost the 3-1 lead. Okay, just watch this. I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to say you're going to see that every now and then. No, the remaining half of the season. But the way they came out tonight against the Lakers, that was some inspired basketball because they're like, okay, yeah, the Lakers got their rings. All right, fine. We'll let them have their little fun celebration and whatever. We're going to take it, these guys, because we ain't playing around no more. And I really like that. The way the Clippers started off that game was a team that played pissed off, knowing, oh no, the chips are off. The chips are off. We're done playing around. You want to see us be mad and take it serious? All right, here we go. And they played like it, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that first quarter. That first quarter was picture perfect play by the LA Clippers. Picture perfect play. I liked how they came out. They played aggressive. They played with an aggressive mindset. They came out and said, yeah, we lost a 3-1 lead, but okay. They played like a team that knows they lost a 3-1 lead, and they played like the team, like they've been saying, that, they have a chip on their shoulder in the, press conference before the first game of the season. That's how I expect them to play. And that's why you never take the preseason seriously, guys. Yeah, the Clippers finished 0-3, preseason. 0-3 in the preseason play. But listen, you're a guy, Kawhi Leonard barely did anything in preseason. What did he do tonight? Dropped 26. And trust me, he played much more explosive and much more, freaking faster than he did in preseason. Preseason, Kawhi just lazy around because he don't care. Next quarter, second quarter. Yeah, things were going good. And then kind of got really bad when Reggie Jackson got in the game. And that's one of my things that I did not like in this game. And that's kind of when the Clippers essentially, as you see by the box score, they only scored 17 points and the Lakers scored 35. They did the same thing they did way back in that Denver series. They had a 22-point lead and they almost blew it. They went into halftime with a 1-point lead. And mostly, you can say, chalk it to most things. They had the most turnovers they had in that quarter. They were just flat out missing points, or missing shots in that quarter. And then, again, let me bring up just one thing. The moment Reggie Jackson touched the floor in this game, the game flow, the game, consistency of the Clippers just went all out of sorts the moment he stepped on the court and the moment he did Reggie Jackson things that we did not like Reggie Jackson doing, like chucking up 3-point shots that were in no stratosphere supposed to be chucked up, driving to the lane when you had no business driving to the lane, and then just throwing up stuff. And then, next thing you know, when the Lakers were getting the run in, Luke called the timeout. And what did he do? He pulled Reggie Jackson over and made him take a seat, and Reggie Jackson did not see a minute in the rest of this game. Now, let me just say this. If Doc Rivers is still coaching this team, I guarantee you he leaves Reggie Jackson out on that floor. That isn't just a fact. That is a clear statement. And we all know Doc Rivers would have did that. But this is the thing that Doc Rivers fails to see. Ty Lue understands I cannot put my team out in a disadvantage. So he pulled Reggie out and didn't let him see the floor again. I'm sorry. If Reggie Jackson is going to come play for this team, I need him to be productive. He cannot be going out there doing BS Reggie things. I need Reggie Jackson to step his game up and actually do some things that benefits the team. Like, I don't know, be somewhat a 3-and-D player. Only thing Reggie Jackson needs to do when he hits the floor is hit spot-up 3-point shots. Otherwise, do not put him out there. I'd rather see Terrence Mann get some minutes, and he could go and he could score no points. I don't need to see Reggie Jackson touch the court anymore. He's a glorified bench player for this team. And if they keep going back to him, you're going to keep getting situations where you get outscored in a freaking quarter. Anyways, third quarter. It got dicey. It seemed like the Lakers were also having their moment in terms of hitting shots, but the Clippers answered back at them. And that was the one thing about this game is, can the Clippers weather this Lakers storm? The Lakers weathered the Clippers storm. They broke out in the second quarter. And, guess what? They weathered that storm and they made it a 1-point game at halftime. And then you had the freaking BS inside the NBA freaking people saying their stupid trash-ass takes like they always do because, they blew the lead in the freaking Denver series and they blew in the lead now. Well, guess what, Shaq? They just ran away with this lead. I know it's one game, but still. Anyways, enough of that biased inside the NBA bullshit. Listen, The Clippers went back to doing the things they did that worked best for them in the first quarter and put this in the third quarter. You know, you had some players show up. Kawhi got it all started, and he had some things going on that were really nice, really nice. And in the fourth quarter, that's when the Clippers put it together. Even though the Lakers had more points in the third quarter, most of those points were garbage time. But when the Clippers in the fourth quarter had to hit shots, aka Paul George, which Paul George in the fourth quarter literally went off. You know, that essentially sealed the deal for the Lakers, or sealed the deal for the Clippers to pick up this win. And, you know, they're starting off 1-0. Overall, I thought it was a pretty decent game played by the Clippers. Again, there's some things to work on. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go through the individual, you know, players, and yeah. So Nick Batum in 28 minutes, he went 1 for 4 from the field, only hit 1 3-point shot, and he only had 3 points. He had 5 rebounds. No, 6 rebounds, 1 offensive rebound. He had 6 assists and 2 steals. The one thing I did like about this Clippers is they really were committed on the defensive side of the ball, especially in that first quarter. They were forcing turnovers in the Lakers. They were making the Lakers take some very bad shots, and they played some really good defense. You know, there was a few times we had Zubac guarding Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis would have a free fadeaway shot. He would make it, but at the end of the day, Zubac played really good defense. That's just better shot from Anthony Davis. And then again, I'd rather have Anthony Davis taking jump shots than going to the paint getting easy dunks. Batum, you can clearly see that his length was really good. He had some chances to make wide open shots and he missed him. I think, but Nicholas Batum's going to be the one player Clipper fans literally flip flop on. One game you'll love him, next game you could hate him because he might play really bad. But listen, the only thing I'm asking for Nick Batum is if he's getting wide open looks and plays, especially for Marcus Morris, who's out right now with knee soreness. You know, he's got to knock those shots down. So, hey, it is what it is. Kawhi Leonard was one of the star players this game. In 34 minutes, he went 10 of 26 from the field. He went 1 of 8 from three-point. He had 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. And he had 26 points. Kawhi Leonard, what can I say? I'm wearing his freaking jersey, guys. I'm wearing his freaking jersey. It's Kawhi Leonard. That's the Kawhi Leonard we all need to see. And that's Kawhi Leonard I know I'm going to get. Not so people, again, who for some reason were either making fun of Kawhi Leonard or somehow a Clipper fan in some universe stressing out about Kawhi Leonard not doing much of anything in the freaking preseason. Here you go. He dropped 26 like I knew he would. Kawhi comes up to play when the moment shines bright. There's nothing else I got to say about Kawhi. He did his thing. Serge Ibaka, in 21 minutes, went 5 of 7 from the field, 2 from 3 from three-point, had made 3 of his free throws. I forgot to mention about that stat line. He had 6 assists. 2 of them were offensive rebounds. As I'm looking at the stat line, he had 1 block, which is cool. And he had 15 points. Shockingly, he finished with a -8. But I thought Serge Ibaka was really good tonight. He was really good. He played some really solid defense on Marc Gasol, and a few times he was matched up on Anthony Davis. And again, can I just say my point again is, listen, I said when the Clippers got Serge Ibaka in my free agent video. Serge Ibaka's been a huge upgrade again, and a huge upgrade for this team instead of Montrezl Harrell. And yes, Montrezl Harrell, when I get to his sideline, yeah, he put up some points. Yeah, but what did he do on defensive side of the ball? Get abused like he typically does. Okay, carry on. Patrick Beverley in 22 minutes went 4 from 9 from the field, hit 2 of his three-pointers, had 6 rebounds, 4 rebounds, like, especially in that one stretch where the Clippers were getting, like, I believe it was 4 or 5 offensive rebounds. He was integral. And that's the reason why Patrick Beverley is huge when it comes to the rebounding game, because that guy fights for every rebound. Stuff like that. Again, I would like to see his fouls go down. Like, stop being, like, I like the fact he's aggressive, but don't be too aggressive where you're just fouling guys, because he had 4 fouls. I was really afraid he was going to pick up a 5th foul, but he kind of kept himself to a minimum and only held himself to 4 fouls, which I'll take. It's better than him fouling out in a game when we need him most and stuff like that. But this guy is a great rebounder, and he came out there and had some really good rebounds. He was a +10 on the court tonight, and he had 10 points. Serviceable thing from your starting point guard. I'll take it. I'll take it from Patrick Beverley. If I'm going to get this out of Patrick Beverley, where he's playing some good defense and stuff like that, and at least hitting some shots when he needs to hit his shots when they give him the chance. I'll take it. He's definitely one of those guys in trade rumors and stuff like that if the Clippers will trade him. But personally, the way he played tonight, there's no reason why he should be included in trade talks. Paul George, who I'm probably going to claim as Clippers MVP, in 36 minutes, he went 13 of 18 from the field, hit 5 3-point shots, had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and he was the leader in terms of, I think, plus minus next to he was tied with Zubac, actually, for plus minus. And he had 33 points. When Paul George essentially went on that stretch where he freaking, my God, just killed it. When he went on that stretch where he was just not missing one single bit, he was hitting shot after shot after shot after shot. He was getting heated up, man. Jeez Louise. Now, that's the Paul George we paid for. And if he can show up like that in the playoffs, and it's like Reggie Miller said on the broadcast, if Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are both hitting and they're both heating up and they're both hot and they can't miss, this team is literally a very hard team to beat. It don't matter which team plays them. But he's my MVP for tonight. And Paul George, he came out and he balled up. He balled out. Again, the Inside the NBA guys, they asked him some pretty BS questions in the post-game interview. They're asking him questions like the dude literally lost a game instead of asking a question and talking about his performance and what to expect for this team going forward. They're asking him stuff about last year. So I don't have time for the Inside NBA guys to be asking these BS questions. But it's okay. I see the agenda. The agenda this year is to hate on the Clippers. I'm sick of this shit, to be honest. Patrick Patterson. Can I just say he had a really bad missed bank shot 3? Well, regardless, in 20 minutes, he was serviceable. He only had 3 points, but still, he was serviceable. He was actually a plus. Patrick Patterson, obviously, when Marcus Morris comes back, he's not going to get as much play time, but Patrick Patterson, I thought he played decent for what it was worth. That's the only thing you can ask Patrick Patterson to come in. If somebody is injured and needs to fill in a spot, then fine. I thought Patrick Patterson played good, and he's that good bench player. Zubac, who's now moved to the bench. Zubac in 27 minutes went 4 or 5 from the field. He had 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, plus 17 next to Paul George. He had 11 points. What can I say? I love this guy. I thought he did a pretty solid job tonight. He did a pretty solid job, especially against Trez. Again, what can I say? I just loved enjoying watching them Trez versus Zoo minutes because, listen, yeah, okay, Trez maybe got him on the offensive side, but there was a few times on the other side, Zoo got him. Zoo also made a really great block on LeBron James tonight. That was a vicious block. Which was actually pretty freaking crazy to see. I was like, damn, Zoo, there you go. Yeah, he brought the defensive mindset, and as well as, I enjoyed the fact that, after Montrezl Harrell blocked Patrick Beverley's shot, what happened on the other end? Coming out of that play, Zubac dunked on Montrez. And again, furthers my point that if you put up a big man on somebody, they're just going to abuse Montrez. Now, I know Zubac isn't as skilled as most of the other skilled big men, but again, when I get to this point, and this is specifically to the Laker fans, I'm just going to say this. It's going to continuously happen going forward. Reggie Jackson. There's nothing else I need to say because I just said it earlier. He should not see an inch of this court again. Personally, if you're going to trade somebody this season, could you please include him in the trade package, please? Because this guy does not know what the hell he's doing. I don't need to waste my time seeing, again, Reggie Jackson, the blunder of misfortune he is, to realize from last year's playoffs that he's a liability on the court. Don't play him no more. Dude, that's 0 points. That's not shocking because he just throws things up thinking he's going to make it. Dude plays like he's Steph Curry when he's not. Anyways, enough of Reggie Jackson. I said my piece about him. Lou Williams in 26 minutes went 4 and 9 from the field, hit 2 of his 3-point shots, had 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and had 11 points. Games like this is where Lou Williams makes it hard to trade because he's definitely in trade talks. Games like this is like, do we want to trade him? But the one that saw a difference compared to Lou Williams is, again, just like I said, the entire, and really this entire team, the defense, when it mattered most, they locked down on defense. They got in people's faces. Even some of the bad defenders like played some pretty solid to average defense, beyond their capabilities. And that's what I like. So obviously, people who were worried about the defense being an issue because of preseason, because they were always getting blown out. Well, guess what? There you go. That's kind of something to expect. And then the last guy that played for the Clippers is Luke Kennard. In 21 minutes, he was 2 or 6 from the field, missed all his 3-point shots, had 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, and had 4 points. And he also had 1 block as well. Now, Luke Kennard. My thing about Luke Kennard is I need to see more aggressiveness out of him. I'm not going to lie. There was one possession where he had literally like 2 chances to hit a pretty decent 3. Like he had enough space to pull the 3. We just paid him we just extended him 4 years, 64 mil. Listen, I am not, listen, if you're going to get paid that kind of money, I need to see more aggressiveness out of him. I can't see 4 points as a stat line. I can't see putting up the same type of stat lines as a Landry Shamet was last year here. Listen, yes, his playmaking's good and stuff like that, but I need to see more scoring. And hopefully Ty Lue makes him build those builds with confidence. Maybe in the film session, especially in that one possession, like legit, he had chances to have good looks from threes, and he just would pass them up. And I'd be like, man, shoot that ball with confidence like you were in Detroit. I think that's what Tyler's going to tell him. And, when they're reviewing game film tomorrow and stuff like that, say, like, man, have some confidence. Shoot that ball and stuff like that. We paid you the money. Time to shoot that rock. I'd like to see Luke Kennard get a little bit more aggressive. When he's got a shot to make, he can make that 3-point shot. I don't care if it's over LeBron James. Shoot it. You have that confidence. They're giving you the space to shoot. Shoot it. But I did like how he got into the paint and he did pull up for some shots and he made them, which is really his 4 points came off of. But I'd like to see him take more shots. I'd like to see him go crazy. Be that Luke Kennard where we saw from Detroit, from the highlights of Detroit. Have some confidence, man. So hopefully, as the season progresses, Luke Kennard gets more aggressive and takes it upon himself to pull up and hit some more shots. But Luke Kennard in his first game, hey, it is what it is. It's just one game for him, so we can move on. But we can't see this on a consistent basis where he's not scoring at least more than 10 points. I got to see more, especially for a guy that's getting paid for this team. Anyways, let's get to the Lakers stat. The Lakers stat line. And obviously, here's the Lakers stat line here. Anthony Davis, which he played pretty well. I guess you can say he was 8 in 31 minutes. He was 8 from 15 from the field, missed his 3-point shots. Had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, and he was minus 16 on the court with 18 points. Again, it's one freaking game. Anthony Davis, he's not gonna play like this all the time. But the Clippers had a good defensive game planned for him. Every time he touched, not every time, but most times he touched the ball, they double team and pass the ball up. So at least they knew, okay, this is what we're going to do in our mindset and stuff like that. And they rotated on defense pretty effectively. LeBron James in 28 minutes was 7 from 17 from the field. He had 3 of his 8 3-point shots made, had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and he was the leader in team points, and he had 22 points. Listen, it's LeBron James. He's going to do what he does. But again, don't take this for granted either. Whenever he wants to have an outbreaking game against the Clippers, he might do it. The question is, will the Clippers be able to weather that storm and stuff like that? So, yeah, it was an off night for him and Anthony Davis. But, hey, listen, it is what it is. Sometimes those guys will show up. Sometimes they won't. Marc Gasol, which I might say was probably the worst Laker player of tonight, did not impress any probably Laker fans to begin with because the dude finished with 5 fouls. Like, seriously. There's nothing else I can say. He's probably the worst Laker on the court tonight. Like the Clippers went at him. They made sure to get him off the court because they got him into foul trouble early, which made Montrez come in early. And that's when essentially the Clippers kind of went on that freaking huge run in the first quarter. So maybe this is some of the things to come. Go at Marc Gasol. He isn't like he used to be. Yes, he's still a decent defender, but he isn't the Marc Gasol that was in Memphis. So, yeah. Dennis Schroeder, he had a pretty nice game, though he was 5 from 15 from the field, hit 2 of his 3-point shots. Crazy. I didn't know he had damn near 12 rebounds. He had 8 assists. He was minus 10 on the court, but he had 14 points. Dennis Schroeder's going to be a nice pickup for the Lakers. Definitely going to be a nice pickup for them. But, hey, as long as you can limit to what he can do, fine. I'll take it. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in 23 minutes went 2 of 4 from the field. Had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block, and had finished with 9 points. They didn't have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope really killed him. And to come to think, but I think this is the first, Lakers-Clippers game in this, I guess, Battle of LA series where the Clippers did not have one Laker player go off or go crazy. Like, there was not one player that went off crazy for this Lakers team, like a third co-star to LeBron and AD's, type of, roll together. Like, Schroeder didn't really go off, even though he had 14 points. Caldwell didn't go off. Trez didn't go off. Markieff didn't go off. Kuzma didn't really go off. Like, that's the one thing about, I say the Clippers have the upper edge because the Clippers, they can have that third co-star and potentially Lou Williams and Luke Kennard. The Lakers, it's kind of, okay, yeah, we got LeBron and Anthony Davis, but who's going to be the third scorer who might help us get over the top and help us win games? That's the thing. That's supposed to be Kuzma's role. But, he did have 15 points, but you expect him to drop 20 alongside LeBron and AD. But yeah, Markieff Morris, he had 5 points in 19 minutes, 1 of 3 from the field, and 4 assists and 1 rebound. I will say, even though I did not want to watch that ring ceremony, I did see it was nice of Marcus Morris to commend his brother. That's just good brotherly love, even if you are playing for the opposing team. So yeah, but props to him and his family. That's something you like to see. Hopefully we can get Marcus Morris a ring as well. Montrezl Harrell, former Clipper, in 32 minutes, which I'm not surprised he played damn near starter minutes when he's coming off the bench, but he was 6 from 7 from the field, 10 rebounds, so he had a double-double tonight, 3 assists, 1 block, and had 17 points and minus 3. Yeah, again, I'm going to tell this to my Laker fans who are checking out this video. Listen, you're gonna get what you paid for. And what I mean is this. Yes, Montrezl Harrell will help you out offensively and give you some energy. But on the defensive side, that's another problem. Because you clearly saw in the first quarter when Montrez entered into the game, what did the Clippers repeatedly do time in, time after again? They targeted the paint, they just drove in because they know better than anybody Montrezl Harrell's defensive deficiencies. They went at him. And that's going to be a repeated thing going forward for your Laker team. Yeah, he got you 10 rebounds, but when it matters most, he ain't going to get the key rebounds. And 2, he's still a defensive liability. Again, the playoffs are signed to come for him. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, Laker fans. You can hate me in the comment section. You can say you're wrong about Trez. But trust and believe. The same thing's going to happen. I know teams now know Montrezl's weaknesses. They're going to put a very skilled big man on him or just a bigger skilled player on him and just take it to the paint and abuse him on the defensive side of the ball. He's not that good defensively. He's if not very lazy defensively. What do the Clippers do? That's just the game plan when you play the Lakers whenever you see Montrez going. I've said it before and I'll say it again. On the Clippers, every time you play the Lakers and Montrez gets in, just keep pounding the rock till they can find some way to clog up the paint and stop it. I had a freaking Laker fan after I commented on Twitter. Now, when the move first happened when the Lakers got him, I said, well, that's just going to be easy pickings for the freaking other teams, especially against that bench unit. And then I had somebody say, well, you put AD alongside him, he's going to be fine. Well, LeBron and AD alongside him. Yeah, how did that work out? Because I still saw the paint getting abused by whenever either of them were in the game with Trez. So, again, my point is valid. And again, expect this, my Laker friends. Teams with skilled big men and skilled players will go at the paint every time Trez in. That will be my game plan. Just target the paint until the Lakers can stop it, until the Lakers will finally realize, which will come in playoff time for them. That's when they'll realize, holy shit, maybe we made a mistake in signing Trez. Again, he'll give you some quality offense. No doubt about it. He'll give you some quality offense. But again, my point rests case. I'd rather take Serge over Trez any day. Kuzma, he had a pretty decent game himself too. 27 minutes, he has 6 from 11 from the field, hit only one of his three-point shots. As a Laker fan, I guess you would have to say he's got to hit more three-point shots. I'm guessing that's something we can read. He had 1 rebound, no assist, and only had 15 points. Listen, they just paid him too. They gave him an extension. You know, they're expecting big things from this guy. They paid him now. They're like, okay, man, you got to start hitting your shots, man. Like, at least you got to score about 20 points alongside AD. He's essentially the third star, but sometimes he doesn't play like it. He's one of those hot, cold players and stuff like that. So, yeah, Quinn Cook, he played in garbage time minutes. Wes Matthews, not much of anything. Again, another guy, you get what you pay for, but you're paying him cheap. But Wes Matthews, he may show up, he may not. He didn't really do much of anything. He was a minus 18 on the court. You know, Alex Caruso, 17 minutes, only hit one of his shots. And that was a 3-point shot. Alex Caruso, is he really going to scare me? No. Horton Tucker. Oh, yeah. Again, to all you Laker fans, we're really hyping up Horton Tucker. Man. Yeah. In 11 minutes, he went 2 from 2 at the field. That's 6 points. He pretty decent. But come on. Yeah, in the freaking preseason against the Clippers, he was killing us. Well, guess what? When it mattered most, what happened? The Clippers abused this guy too. Again, the overhypedness of some random dude off the bench who barely gets any NBA play time. I'm not saying he can't turn into a quality player, but dude barely played any freaking NBA games, and we're hyping him up like he's the second coming of freaking, I don't know, their version of Lou Williams. 6 points. Get some more game minutes and actually do some things more in the NBA before I actually say you're a talented player. I put him the same talent as Caruso. He's a decent player, but I'm not. He doesn't scare me. Anyways, again, ending off this video, as I stop my share of this thing, the Clippers get the win. They beat the Lakers. Okay, time to move on. Time to move on to bigger and better things, which is Denver, and trying to get revenge on those guys for beating us. Cleveland, thank you, on Christmas Day. Again, there's some things the Clippers need to work on. Turnovers are still kind of an issue, and that's kind of what got the Clippers in that second quarter, as well as lazy basketball play. You know, you saw them revert to things where they're just taking shots just to take shots. And that's what got the Lakers back in the game. Hopefully, that doesn't happen on Christmas night with Denver, because I cannot have another time where we're up big on Denver and we blow the lead. I do not want to see that. Anyways, that's the one thing. The second quarter is probably the thing you're going to take most of the criticism from. But other than that, the Clippers played a pretty effective game. And, they had a solid game all around. And, yeah, there's nothing much I can ask for. But, again, it's just one game. It's time to move on to Denver. So Denver's next on my mind. And I'll probably do a game recap after that game, too. And that's how – and listen, how I'm going to handle my game recaps, I'm not going to do every freaking game. Like, I'm not going to do, like, say, Clippers versus Kings game recap. I'm not going to do that. I'm really only going to do game recaps on some big games and stuff like that. I'm not going to do every good team versus the Clippers, but some pretty important matchups. I'm not going to do, like I said, full 72, games, because that's crazy. There's no point in doing that. But, but listen, if you subscribe to the channel, if you're a Clipper fan, you'll get some of my thoughts on how the Clippers played in certain games. And, yeah,
But other than that, the Clippers start the season off 1-0, still one game. It's on to move on to Denver. And yeah, so other than that, guys, I'm going to get out of it. So if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section if you're a Clipper fan and what your thoughts on tonight's win. If you're an NBA fan in general, what are your thoughts on the Clippers and how far they can go this season? Promise, if you say second round is the farthest they go, I will not leave a hate comment, I promise you. As well as if you want to get more Clippers content, hit that subscribe button, and whatever game recap I decide to come out with, I'll make sure I'll come out with. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys are having a great rest of your night. So, yeah, till then, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video, and hopefully you guys are staying safe out there. Peace.